Hi, today we're going back to another session of book reviewing, and I've just recently read a really good book. No, it's not childish, and it's really easy to understand. This book is called Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow by author Sayapin Kurham, and she's a ghostwriter, an award-winning author, and an inspiring speaker. You know what that's called, like somebody who protests for LGBTQ people, Black Lives Matter, etc. Well, this one is called Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow. I'm saying this again. It's really easy to understand, and the cover is really good. There's two main characters in this book, Stevie and Hafiz. Oh, her name is Stevie, and named after, if any of you guys know, the famous singer named Stevie Nicks, and Hafiz is named after the famous writer Hafiz from the 13th century. Well, these two have a story, and here's a plot twist. Both of them have something that's really sad in them. Well, as you can guess, Stevie's name is just a plain old English name. Somebody who's from England, right? And her mother has depression and anxiety. Those are two mental disorders at the same time. After her dad died, BDD, before death, and her mom would always look at old magazines that remember her of her dad. Well, apparently, that doesn't make her feel any better. That just makes her worse. So she called it BDD. And in Stevie, it's a book that's like a combination between Stevie's and Hafiz's diary. And these two people's diary are kind of funny, so you can laugh at times. Well, more about that later on. Well, Stevie, she won't have a dream to become a guitarist and a musician. After her dad died, he gave her a guitar and a book called Stevie's Little Big Song Wisdom. You can search that name up on Spotify and listen to the records that is there, because here it is. There is a real list of Stevie's little list of big song wisdom, and you have a lot of lists here, and it's called Song to Reassure You When Times Are Tough, Songs to Make You Happy to Be Alive, Songs for When People Let You Down, Song to Help You Take on the World, Song to Get Ready to Go Out to, Song to Be a Free Spirit to, Song to Air Guitar to, Song to Revise for Exams to, Songs to Hate Your Nemesis to, Songs to Have a Kitchen Disco to, and Song to Dream to. And there's a playlist on Spotify. So basically, Stevie's life was really depressing. They lived in an old cottage. She and her mom, after her dad died, lived in an old cottage that's supported by benefits. That comes from a center that helps people who are disabled. In this case, she's mentally disabled, so she can't work. So they have small amounts of benefits, or you know what it is, money, to help pay the bills, but only a little left to buy food. So every dinner, they'd be eating beans on toast for dinner, which you know toast is for breakfast, right? Also, she doesn't have that much for breakfast, only toast. So you can quite be sure you can quite get how poor they are. They're really poor. Like, they don't even have that enough money to buy the groceries, and they have to go to a charity, a food bank, for the food there, because basically it's free. So you can get how they're so poor, and to make it even worse, her chests are always growing, so her clothes wouldn't fit. Her shirt wouldn't fit. And her skirt would fit, because she doesn't have that much to eat, doesn't she? School would always be horrible. There's bullies, a mean girl named Priya, and her friends, Gemma. Another one, I didn't quite call her a mean girl, but she's more like someone mean and sympathetic towards her friends, but not towards other people. a kind of rich mean girl named Lucy Gills. So these two, Priya is the one who always bullies Stevie. So you get how really mean she is in this book. Also, Stevie has witty comebacks for her, like, I'm taking notes for 50 ways to spot an idiot, and you've been really great help. So you can laugh at some parts, but you can cry at some parts. Her mom has anxiety and depression, and she can't work, and she doesn't really care that much for her. She always sleep, so she becomes always really angry at her mom and wants to yell at her. And she's always saying that her mom's depression and anxiety is contagious if she comes into her mom's room. So she always run out of the room. So those are some parts that are really funny. What about Hafiz? Hafiz is a boy, around 14-year-old from Syria, and he's a refugee. He used to live in Syria, and life was really happy and peaceful there. His dad was someone who's really crazy over British authors and books, so that's why you can guess that's why he named his son after that famous writer, Hafiz, right? So he named after Hafiz because basically he was a writer. Okay, life was really peaceful in Syria till war broke out and everything went upside down. War broke out. War between two countries, not the civil type. Okay, so his parents didn't consider on letting him to take refuge in England, in the town called Lewes, near the sea. There is a real destination like that. Okay, so his parents didn't consider on taking refuge, but until his best friend, Ahil, lost both of his feet. Lost both of his leg due to, you can guess why, war. So he lost both of his legs, and then he's from a normal person to a disabled person. So that's horribly, horribly horrible. So his parents decided to take all of their life savings and wanted to buy a ticket from smugglers to get him to England to take refuge in England. And the journey wasn't easy. Those smugglers, they don't care whether you live, they don't care whether they have to keep you safe or not. They don't care whether maybe you drown. They don't care. Because these people travel in ships, and he experienced the experiences that a 14-year-old wouldn't want to. Those experiences were horrifying. There were people, a woman he met on the ship, her baby drowned because the ship wrecked. Luckily, he survived. Also, his most prized possession, a book his dad gave him before he go off to become a refugee, was a book, and he lost it to the sea. So he lost faith to the sea and God. That's what he says in his diary anyway. Also, after seeing that his friend losing all of his legs and that woman's baby drowning, another of his friend drowning when smuggling with him, he didn't believe in any of those anymore. But luckily, he got to England safely. And one more thing, I have to say, those smugglers beat these people up. They don't care whether you're safe or not. They just care for the money. Okay, so Hafiz also have a really horrific time at school. Have a really horrible time at school. He is also bullied. Hey, and one thing. Hafiz, that boy likes football. So he joined the school's team and become a star player. That's what I can call. I'm not interested in football, but he seems like a star player on the team there. Okay, he takes refuge in a house with his aunt and uncle, Aunt Maria and Uncle Samir. I remember their names, but I don't know their surname because it's not revealed in the book. And there's really I wish there was a movie about this book, but there wasn't. Okay, let's continue. So Hafiz is bullied at school by a boy named Price, but then he became friends with Stevie. He wants to find a story that suits his story, that horrible Syria war story. So that story, he finds Stevie's story as similar to him. So they become friends. Friends, they support each other. So after being bullied too long, he made a video telling about his experience and played it on the school hall. Students gather and suddenly they become sympathetic. They wasn't thinking that Syrians were like someone who steal their country anymore. So that's a really good ending. Finally, I can quite tell that I really like this book, and you should read this book because it makes you cry, and it makes you laugh at the same time. Also, it's humorous. A lot of parts that's really funny. Hey, and also, why don't you call in one of those bookshops to see if they have this? Probably they do. Bye!